Today with BAO, this super adorable aquamarine VTuber. So what got you to decide to use this specific character design when you're creating your VTuber character?
I actually came across it on Pinterest and it was just a sketch of her. And I was lucky that I was able to contact the artist because I was like, okay, um, I love this design. Do you think that I could possibly like buy commercial rights to it and
Ooh.
maybe like change it up a little bit and uh also have you create my VTuber model.
Oh.
They are a Chinese artist, Hayama Fair. That's my mama. Um,
Mm.
she had never made a VTuber model before, and the guild that animated my movements, it's called like rigging. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I went through Iron Vertex. They were nice enough to translate Chinese for me to better like communicate between us all, and it all worked out. So I am alive.
Wow.
Um, when previously I was just making covers on YouTube, but I had always had an ocean aesthetic. So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to keep to my origins while I did sort of like this brand change. Um, that way people wouldn't be like too shocked. But I mean, it happened anyway.
So I know guess this is your only VTuber, but do you find that it's a lot different to work with, say, Western culture riggers and designers, as opposed to you said Chinese, right?
um, I guess well, it's definitely easier because English is my second language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So mm, working with like overseas artists too is um it's hard because of time zones and the language barrier, of course. But I just feel like my specific artist that made my model, she had such a like she has so much like design vision when it comes to this stuff. Like I just left it all to her. Especially like because now I want like more outfits and stuff. I don't even put in my input. I just kind of give her like an idea of what I want, and I just let her take the reins with it. Sometimes artists just have a better vision than you. Than like working together and creating something. I guess step by step. It's gonna be a lot more work intensive that way, but um, yeah, I really do recommend just like if you want like a really cool design, like let the artist take care of it.
Like you give them a theme, like aquamarine, kind of like ocean feel, and then they kind of just go with it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because you know, like it's their job, right, to create something from scratch, and
Mm-hmm.
it's you're. And I mean, like the best. Most people like the only kind of background they have with that is like playing dress up on like.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend that.
And you said that you're working on doing other outfits too. Do you change outfits quite often?
Currently I only have one outfit. It's just the one that I'm wearing. Um, but there are a lot of other VTubers that change outfits like every stream,
Oh
and
wow,
I
yeah.
am excited to have my own little wardrobe.
Can you do us a little zoom out and let us see your outfit again, please?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Gonna float in the ocean now. Oh, even your like flaps on your dress on the bottom are waving too. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Whoa,
The
yay! Wow, look how like smooth the hair is moving. The dress and everything. Is that a dress or shorts? I can't tell. I think shorts, right?
yeah, they're shorts.
They're so cute, and I love the sparkles. This I think there's stars on the tips of your hair on the
Yeah,
end.
they're stars.
So cute. And
Thank
is that
you.
like I think it's star wrap on your left thigh?
Um, I think they're supposed to be like they look like petals almost. If I zoom up close to them, they just look
Oh.
like petals, but I think they're supposed to be fish scales.
Oh, I see. Super adorable. It's so flowy. It looks like a really good summer dress. I don't know if you'd be comfortable to talk about the cost of getting a model rigged or not.
Sorry, I just woke up, so like
I just woke up too, literally like half an hour ago.
I'm the same way. So let's see. So when I bought commercial rights, that was 1,000. The art itself cost 1,000. I'm just roughly guesstimating right now because I don't remember like the exact costs. I just remember like the kind of like the base was 1,000. Art 1,000, copyright 1,000, rigging.
Oh, wow.
And then I had a support artist, Aruseli. She helped cut up the pieces of the art because we were just having like communication issues with the with my the artist that designed me. So I also paid her around 1,000. It was a lot of money.
So would you say that's about average for overseas creation? Like about like $5,000 for a good VTuber?
I would definitely say that it's going to be that much now because when I first started commissioning these artists, VTuber models were only beginning to become like, I guess, popular to add to your commission. Like, there weren't a lot of artists that were doing it yet or had learned the techniques to do it. So now that it is so in high demand, I would say the prices are a lot higher depending on the quality or the style that you want. If you want like just I guess like an indie artist on Twitter to start like to make your art, I would say it would start between like 500 to 1,000, which is kind of like in that like low to mid range. Then, but if you wanted to get something on the same level as like V Shoujo's current 2D models, then I would say it would be upwards between like 1,000 to 2,000, not including commercial rights.
Right, and then the rigging rights, right?
Yeah, and then well, there's no rigging rights. It's just you commission like a rigging artist or a guild to do the rigging to make the motions on your model. It is very pricey now. The guild that I commissioned through, they actually doubled their prices since I commissioned them.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not really sure what the current cost is, but last time I heard it was like $3,000 for the tier that I commissioned.
Wow. Well, okay, I'm just trying to figure out like the market demand here. I get it, like the beginning there was very low market demand, so it's about like your 5,000 to get everything done. But now that there's a high demand, it's going up in price. What do you think will happen as time goes by with the world opening up and for COVID and travels, and less people are streaming, less people are staying at home and watching streams? Do you think the prices for creating a VTuber would go down or?
I don't think they will go down. I think that they'll probably they might just like stay where it is and kind of fluctuate depending on who you're asking.
Okay.
Because obviously if you have like a really good portfolio, if you've worked with like, I guess the term for them is like industry VTubers, then that would definitely like add to it, because a lot of the time when a VTuber kind of starts over, that's typically how it works, right? Like a VTuber will just kind of erase their past internet history and then begin again with like a new design, a new name. You want to have like sort of this like base following, and it would be wise to have the money to commission someone that is already well known, because in the VTuber culture, there are like families, kind of. Like if you have the same artist as another VTuber, then you're considered like
siblings,
a sister or a half sister.
Yeah.
And then if you get like the same person that rigged their model, then you would be like a full sister.
Oh, and so mom and dad.
Yeah. So having that connection with already like pre-established VTubers would be like a really good boost in following. So I would say like to do that, you need like a decent chunk of money. It would still be like a couple $1,000s.
And this is in USD, right?
Yeah, USD.
Okay, so I noticed that like there's a lot like in the Asian countries, they definitely have a lot more experience and artists there. And I do see the difference in the quality of the VTuber designs is a lot smoother, it flows better, and the designs are just generally, I don't know, I just prefer Asian art style more.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because, like, I guess, like, the popular Western style is more, like,
Cartoony?
cartoon,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
cartoon, and, let's see, what's the term? Like, the shading is very minimal. It's not, like, cell shaded, I believe.
Yeah, like the
Well, I
tip
mean, I
of
guess
your
it,
hair, it's like you can see that it's like gradient shading too, and then you have like it's a shell shading's kind of like on the side of your hair. It's kind of the two-tone color, whereas the bangs are the gradient. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, my artist does, my artist, like, her style looks more painted than, like, traditional cell
Mm-hmm,
shading.
mm-hmm.
So that's probably why, like, my model in particular always gets mistaken as 3D, but it's actually just, like, there is a
Oh,
lot of dimension because her style is painted.
yeah. It does look really 3D, especially at the top of your head, right? Because of the shading and the painting style.
Yeah, yeah.
What drew you to Wales?
What drew you to Wales? I was kind of just on the hunt for a character design, and I just happened to come across BAO, right? Like me right now, my design. And I just asked the artist, like, what inspired you to make this design? And she just mentioned, like, well, when I made her, she was just a unused video game asset.
Oh, okay.
So luckily, like, the company she was a part of, that she draws for, was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can have this design, just, change it up a little bit so that, it's like, it's yours and not ours, just to, like, make sure we have no, like, copyright issues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she just mentioned, like, oh, yeah, well, when I drew her, I wanted her to be, like, a free little ocean spirit. And
Mm.
she mentioned, like, how hard her work was. It's very demanding,
Oh
and she
no.
just kind of put all of her feelings of, like, escapism into this design.
Oh.
And I figured, like, well, a whale travels, like, a couple thousand miles a day in the ocean, right? And
Mm-hmm.
um, and I was thinking, like, if I also wanted, in VTuber culture, there's people that create lore for their models. So, like, a little backstory or origin story for their character. And I was thinking, like, well, I really, really, really want mine to be unique. What is something that no one has ever done? And I based off of my story off of the 52 hertz whale. I don't know if you've ever heard of that whale.
No. Yeah, tell us
It's
more
a
about that.
it's a whale that actually exists. So
Okay.
this whale sings at a higher frequency than other whales. So because of that, other whales cannot hear it singing. And
Oh.
as much as it, like, cries out to pods and tries to integrate itself within them, they just won't let them because they don't like its voice. It's too high pitched and they can't hear him. Um, I think he's still alive. The reason they say, like, the reason being is, like, uh the species might be some kind of hybrid whale species, and
Mm.
um for whatever reason it just sings higher than all the other whales, and I can't make any friends. And I really
Oh.
related to that story. So that's me.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Like expressing your emotions and just a little different from the rest of the pack, but you're still out there being free and roaming in the ocean and just doing your thing
Hmm, hmm.
and singing. Yeah, so you said that you originally started doing like covers, right?
Hmm.
That's one of the reasons why you kind of related to the whale with the singing. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
exactly.
Right. What kind of covers do you do?
um when I first started, it was like when I was still in high school. I would just post, like, Instagram covers of me singing anime and and
Yeah.
Vocaloid songs on my guitar. And I posted on Instagram, and like a lot of the comments I got, they're like, wow, you should make a YouTube channel. And I was like, a YouTube channel? I don't know how YouTube works at all.
Right.
And I just kind of like uploaded whatever. I also didn't know how copyright worked. I was like, what if I get a strike if I just use like a random picture? And so I wrote this original song called Paper Lantern, and I was scared to use just like a random paper lantern picture. So I had this like little plug-in lamp in my room of a paper lantern. I just took a picture of it and uploaded it.
It's original, right?
Yeah, it's original. So that was my first original song that I wrote, like way back in high school. It's still one of my most popular original songs, which is very weird to me. It's not like the most high quality produced thing on the platform, but a lot of people like will go back to that. And then my second one was called Seafoam, and Seafoam ended up being a part of BAO's debut song. Like there's this bridge that I connected back to Seafoam, which was really fun because it's like a 4-year-old song, and it kind of just led me all the way up to here where I am. Kind of funny. So yeah, I do original songs, I do Vocaloid covers, and sometimes like producers on SoundCloud, they'll reach out to me and then ask me to like be featured on their tracks. So then I'll write the lyrics, I write the melody, and I just send it off to them, and boom.
That is so cool. Okay, I have so many questions I want to ask you about the music stuff now. So you started your music journey 4 or 5 years ago, but you started VTubing recently, right?
Yeah.
And like, was that like just recent years or 1-2 years?
I debuted my model on October 30th of last year, and I've been streaming ever since. Last year I was streaming on Twitch, I'd say around like the springtime. And during that time, I was just kind of getting used to the platform, trying to build like a tiny little audience, getting used to how things work and all that. But in the background, I was still like very much working on BAO. I was just, at first I was IRL streaming, like I showed my face, and then I was like, I don't really like this. I don't like having to do my makeup before stream and then getting like kind of self-conscious every time I look up and I see my face. I'm like, ugh. So I switched to being a PNG streamer. Okay, so that's like a funny term. You just use like a PNG, like a JPEG.
JPEG, yeah.
Right? Yeah. I just had that as my icon whenever I talk. It lit up and bounced a little bit, so you know it's me talking. So that's what I was doing in the meantime. So technically I've been streaming for like a little over a year, but as a VTuber, it's been almost a year.
So PNG streaming, is that kind of like Paper Mario? It's kind of like just like it just moves around?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So then with your music, because you do a variety of covers and original, and you post them on YouTube, do you find it that you run into a lot of copyright issues when you do cover songs? Do you
Yeah, definitely. It also depends like whether or not the instrumental is like commissioned through you. Because the YouTube, I guess like music ID bot, it's gotten a lot better. So even if you commission someone for an original instrumental, there's always a chance that the composition itself will be flagged as copyright content, because that's not yours either, right? Because it's like a cover. So yeah, it's kind of a gamble. Some songs, they don't get hit by it. Some songs do. Mostly like the more mainstream songs. But as for like anime and Vocaloid cover, like if you get an original instrumental, like there is a higher chance that you won't get flagged, just because it's still sort of this like Japanese companies haven't exactly like worked their way into music ID bots and on YouTube, so you're kind of safe in that regard. But like if you do like popular like Doja Cat song, like TikTok songs, then you'll probably get flagged.
Okay, so have this ever happened to you? Because it happened to me. I posted a cover song, which was I had my original instruments. I had a band play it for me. And I used the song in different videos. Like I was doing like a behind the scenes at the making of the music video, the actual music video, etc.
Mm-hmm.
The music video was flagged copyright, but it allowed revenue share. But then the second video with the exact same song didn't allow it at all.
That's so weird. I think one thing you can check too is some companies abuse the fact that they can just flag any channel for copyright. You should check and see if the companies are the same that flagged you, and then make sure like which one is the real company and which one is probably the fake company. But if it is the same, then honestly, that might just be like YouTube being YouTube. You can try to dispute it and see what happens on each. Sometimes it goes through. It doesn't hurt to try, but I wouldn't dispute it any more than once. Because if you dispute it a certain number of times, I think like it makes it worse.
Yeah, well, I didn't want them to all of a sudden check both my songs and then just make my first song ineligible too. So that's why I'm like, I don't know.
I think the best way to go is like if you're using a song, try using a cover of it. Like there's like piano versions online, there's like fan-made instrumentals online, there's fan covers. Try doing that and see if maybe that'll go through. And otherwise, you can also change I don't know if YouTube bot still can pick it up, but if you change the pitch of a song, like if you go into like any music program, like audio program, like Audacity, like that's for free, right? You can pitch it up like a key and see if YouTube still
I think it flagged the melody.
Huh.
Yeah.
What song is it? Do you mind me asking?
Oh, Garenge. Sorry, not Garenge. Homura from Demon Slayer.
Yeah. What? It was. Did you say it was a cover?
Yeah, we actually had like musicians play the music, and we tweaked it a little bit too, so it's not the exact same as the original.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the pitching was actually off too. It's not exact. Sorry, the timing was off too. The timing was changed a little bit than the original as well.
Damn. I think maybe like because Lisa is so well known in the West now,
probably.
they're just trying to like get as much revenue as they can since like here like on YouTube is probably where she gets the most like traction and traffic.
Yeah.
That might be why. You can try to dispute it once and see what happens. Maybe like it doesn't hurt to try.
But it just like didn't give you options to. I think I tried disputing it, but the options to give you, like there was 3 reasons why I can dispute it, and none of them really fell into why I would dispute it. So I just decided not to do it.
I think it fall under fair use. Like
fair use.
No matter how, no matter what you use for the reason why, like it should always be fair use.
Oh, okay.
Because all the other ones, they seem to have a very low success rate.
Okay, well, thanks for letting me know that.
Oh, someone said that Sony is the publisher. Oh yeah,
Sony's really
hard.
Yeah,
they're very, very.
It's strict. Okay. I was just curious. I wasn't expecting to like make money or anything off of this, but I was just curious why the exact same song was allowed for one and not for the other. So,
weird.
Yeah. Because then sometimes when you like make cover songs, you won't be able to post the song until you debut it, and then you put in all the time and the effort and the money to get it produced, and then you find out it's not copyright for YouTube. You're like,
yeah, like my fallback plan for that is like whenever I upload a like original song or not a cover song, I use it as like a Patreon post. So like say I can't make any revenue at all on YouTube, then I at least can get revenue from Patreon from the people that support each like piece of content I put out there. And then since the instrumental is original and my vocals are original, everything in there is original except the composition. You can upload that onto Spotify and get revenue from there. The only thing is like if you're uploading a cover onto Spotify, You do have to purchase like a license for it, but it's really cheap. It's like $9 on
Oh,
DistroKid.
wow. Mhm.
I don't know how, I forgot how much it is on Sounddrop. I work with Sounddrop. I can't remember. I think it's also like $10. So
Okay, I have so many more
it's like a
questions.
mechanical license. Yeah.
Um, okay, I don't know if you're comfortable talking about this, but because you have different sources of revenue with your music, which one do you think would be your highest breadwinner? You said you did Patreon, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud?
Yeah. So I don't post on SoundCloud anymore because the platform is kind of dead. It's mostly for people who don't want to get like hit by copyright if they upload their remixes.
Yeah.
So Spotify is a really good place for like uploading remixes. Um, let's see. But I don't upload there. I tried to like see if I could get any revenue from there, but it was so little that it was just like hitting like equilibrium with the amount that I was spending per month as to have like the subscription as an artist. So let's see from there. Spotify is definitely my number one source of like, I guess like streaming platform wise. Okay, how do I explain this? So Sounddrop is where I publish my music. That's where I get my mechanical licenses. I established like my copyright on my covers and my songs. And then from Sounddrop, they will distribute it to streaming platforms like Apple Music, Spotify,
Right.
TikTok, Facebook Music, all of that. Then from there, I get all the revenue from all the streaming places. But the number one place I get my streaming revenue from is going to be Spotify because they just like to feature me in a lot of like playlists that like Spotify auto generates. So that's how I got my Spotify audience.
So when you're saying feature on playlists, are these playlists generated by users? Because sometimes they just curate a playlist, or is it Spotify has their own in-house playlist and they just add you in?
It's a mix of both, actually.
Okay. And did you reach out to them to ask for that, or they just found you and added you in?
Oh yeah, they just found me.
Oh, cool. That's really cool. So then how would it work? Because I know you compose your own music. Do you find it like, have you ever done like a collaboration with someone and you have to figure out how to split the revenue with different people on?
Yeah, so what you can do for that, I know other distribution platforms can allow it too, like DistroKid. But on Sounddrop, you can just like, there's a option to add another producer or like main person who made the song basically, and they will have like the revenue split option, and then you can add like which percentage would you like this person to receive, and then what is your percentage.
Okay,
So that's how you can split it that way.
Oh, that makes it so much more convenient, right? So then they just automatically send them the money without you having to like every month keep track of views and whatnot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you tell us a bit about other types of VTubing? Because you talked about the PNG, which is kind of like the Paper Mario type.
Yeah.
And then what's the difference between 2D and 3D?
If you look at my model right now, I can only turn like
sideways a little bit.
Not even 180 degrees, right? You can't see the back of my head because it just doesn't exist.
Like, you don't have a back of my head.
Yeah, because this is a 2D asset. You only see like, it's only two-dimensional. But a 3D asset, you're going to be able to turn all the way around. You can see like the textures, and like there's a structure to it, right? Like a building, you know? You can see like all the different like dimensions of it. And another thing is you use two different programs for having a live 2D model and a 2D model. A 2D model, you're going to use like, I use VTube Studio. If you're an iPhone user, because iPhones have the best facial tracking because they use thermal cameras, and the thermal camera tracks like just better changes in your expressions versus like a web camera that just like kind of maps like the dimensions of your face. Like this is clearly your eyes, clearly your mouth, but obviously it's not going to be as fluid. Then let's see. Yeah, there's like some programs for Live 2D that are on Steam too. But I'm using a phone app, and then I'm using a Steam version of the phone app. So it like is connected to that through like the IP address. Then if you're using a 3D model, you're gonna be using I don't know what programs.
I think you have to have those like stands that like track you like all the way around, like 3 cameras,
it's called,
something like that.
It's called a leap motion, or like you can have like a VR set too, where you can like walk around and it tracks like your body movements with like how you're holding the VR remotes. But you could have the VR set thing going on, or you can have like a leap motion. So the leap motion, it can also track your hand movements, which is kind of cool. It's like this little bar that you put in front of your computer, and it does kind of like everything for you. I'm trying to think what else.
Because your 2D can only track your face; it can't track your hands, right?
Yes, it can't track my hands. Actually, I don't know about that. There's like ways to like fake having it track your hands. So, like for instance, on my model, when I don't know if you can see this, when I smile, my fingers curl.
Oh, okay.
So you can have you can rig parts of your body to other parts of your body to like mimic, I guess, real motion. So
just imagine you having to smile a lot to make your fingers move.
Yeah. But yeah, you can also do that. There's like GIF assets too. Like you can like commission someone to make a GIF of like your hands like holding a remote control, and then you put it in front of your body and it kind of looks like you're using your hands, but yeah,
like an add-on extension.
Yeah, pretty much. Like having a 2D model definitely is going to be limiting in terms of like what you can like do in like I guess like a real life kind of like simulation. You're really just like talking and moving. You can't really do anything else. But if you're a 3D model, then like it'll be like a lot more interactive. You can like go into like VR mode and like VR what is it called? What's it called? The
VR, virtual reality. I don't know.
The world that people hang out in. What the heck? Why can't I remember it?
Oh yeah, they kind of hang out and make their own like
VR chat. You can like go in there and like pick things up, I'm sure, and
so then what's the reason why you decide to choose a 2D model versus a 3D?
I would definitely say because it was VR having a 2D model is kind of the industry standard right now. If you look at the industry VTubers that are company based, like Hololive and Niji Sanji, they all use 2D models, and I really wanted to go with like a very, very anime aesthetic for me. And sometimes like having a 3D model just can't like emulate that. 3D modeling can get like a little cartoony. You're not gonna have like all the details and nuances that are in like an anime drawing, basically. So that's why I went with it. But now there are starting to be 3D modelers that do painting. So painting in 3D is what the hololive like industry VTubers have for their models. So it looks exactly like their original 2D model, but it's just 3D. But I had a really, really hard time at the time finding anyone that did that sort of style. And so that's why I stuck with 2D.
I see. So then is it probably also a cost issue too, right? The 3D models do cost a lot more to build and equipment wise?
I would say like I would argue and say that live 2D is definitely going to cost more because you're going to be paying two different people. You're going to be paying the artist and you're going to be paying the person that rigs your model. And right now, because 2D models are in such high demand, it's going to be really, really expensive. But if you go the 3D route, I would say that it could very well end up being the same price depending on who you're asking and what kind of model you're asking, like what kind of techniques they use.
Right.
If you wanted to do like a Vroid model, that can be sort of like a good budget for you. You can make a Vroid model by yourself and it'll still look pretty anime. What it comes down to is like if you can rig the model yourself and make it like track all your facial motions. I'm not a rigger, so I really don't know too much about it.
Yeah.
But let's see. Like I think like the most expensive 3D modeler I've come across is Artgun. They've done models for the V Shoujo girls.
Oh, okay.
And they've done models for Snuffy, and her model has insane tracking. I've like never seen such like a like she can do like
smooth and accurate
50
stuff.
different expressions at once. It's insane.
Oh wow.
I think their models start at 3,000.
Wow.
So it can get pretty spency.
So when you are working on your covers and music, or say to post on YouTube, do you, because I know like with Vocaloids, they have the V-Roys that do the dancing and everything. Is that something your model can do too, or no?
So what you're referring to is MMD, right? It's like
okay. I'm not familiar with the terms.
It's like the 3D stage where they like dance around and do all that. I can't do that, but if you have a 3D model, you can do that. You use like the MMD kind of like program, and you can like basically put like you click on this animation and then it'll do that animation. Like you can hook your 3D model up so that it can like auto do those things. There are MMD animators that can do that. I'm not too familiar with it, but basically it's like a mixture of like programming what the model is going to be doing, and then it's a mixture of motion graphics.
Okay.
Your motion graphics is you can be animating in a 2D space or a 3D space. And then in this case, you'd be animating in a 3D space. So you would have like the camera like zoom up really close, zoom up really far. You can have like, you can throw like, I guess like particles in like a 3D space, make it all pretty, make like 3D assets in the background.
Or whatever.
I think those can be like those 3D assets, like the random props and stuff, those can be downloaded.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of like the gist of what MMD is.
When you are streaming on Twitch, are you producing the music on Twitch, or are you performing, and what kind of content do you stream on Twitch?
So I'm sort of a variety streamer. I like to play like different video games of all different genres, mostly, and sometimes I'll do like fun events. So yesterday I faked an ab reveal. I said I was going to reveal my abs, and I did not. What I did was instead, I said that I set a goal. I said I will reveal a picture of my abs at 2K subs, and we hit 1K yesterday. So then, as punishment for hitting 1K, I did like 1K, 1,000 reps of like different exercises for abs. And so that's kind of like. Yeah, sometimes I go off track. Sometimes I don't play video games. Sometimes I make like cool, fun events. We've had like a dating show happen.
Oh.
I've had like guess the anime opening show. I've had a marble stream where like if you pull a marble, it just has like a bunch of dares on it, and then I have to do it. Cool events like that. So I don't stick to just like one like video game or
just variety. Yeah,
variety.
So then, do you know what type of audience generally watches your streams?
Not really sure. That's a good question.
Or
probably just I don't know, like people in like probably teenagers and people in their 20s.
Or do you know what region, like based like Western countries, Asian countries?
Oh yeah,
Europe?
I can look in my analytics actually.
Oh yay, cool.
Second. Could also look on my YouTube channel.
Oh, do you stream on YouTube too and Twitch?
I used to stream on YouTube, but I don't like YouTube. I think that like YouTube is a place where mostly in like company company-backed VTubers can thrive, but like indie VTubers is really, really hard to like establish an audience. Some people can do it, but I personally think like Twitch is just better, like in terms of like what they can provide. Like your mods, like there's like a lot more features like rating. Yeah.
I see,
Twitch has just been around longer, but if you want to stream on YouTube, you might be successful if you already have like a pre-established like audience.
Right.
So if you're like already a big person, then you know it would be good.
And how often do you stream?
I went on a month break. I was just kind of dealing with some stuff, but I am back now, and I'm hoping to stream every day.
And what kind of hours do you usually stream?
What kind of hours I usually stream?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in EST, so usually in the evening, sometimes in the late afternoon, usually is when I start. So I think for you that's like
early afternoons or late evening, late afternoons. Yeah, because I'm 2 hours behind you.
It would for you. It would be like early afternoon. I think. Is when I usually start. Let's see. People find me from mutual viewers. So people who watch me will typically watch other VTubers, and then those VTubers watch other VTubers. So I share a lot of audience with a lot of other VTubers. So let's see, like Haruka, Leaflet, Luna, the Magikarp, Sens, Vienna, and let's see, a lot of the people that find me are kind of through Twitch browsing.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes they like feature me on the front page if I'm like live, and sometimes I get raids. People that are watching me, they'll like send their audience to me after they're done streaming. And also there's a new VTuber tag. They just added that in one of the latest updates on Twitch. So the VTuber tag is really, really helpful for finding new VTubers, and me especially, because I think like it shows you people based on like how many viewers they have.
Do you say YouTubing is different than like face cam streaming?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I'm constantly multitasking because, you know, like this is a program, and you're gonna like if I want to do an emotion, I can like have to toggle things. Like now I'm sad. now I'm kind of angry. And now I'm kind of smug.
So sus.
And yeah, all of that. That is sort of something that you kind of just have to remember to do in real time. I do have some like animations too, but
you sing in Japanese though, right? The covers.
Yeah, in Japanese and English.
Yeah. Do you speak Japanese?
Not very well.
That's okay. You like the music. You can just still sing it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you find that, like you said, the external sources of social media, which one do you think it's a really good platform for you to communicate with your fans and build engagement on?
If I had to rate them, it would be number 1 is Twitter. Number 3 is YouTube. And then hello?
3?
I can count. Number 2 is YouTube, and then number 3 is TikTok.
Oh, okay. So you post like clips of your streaming or your music?
On TikTok, the clips that generate the most viewerships are the ones that I like originally make specifically for TikTok, because TikTok culture is just so different than any other platform I've ever been on that like you really have to curate what you're like making so that it does well on TikTok versus like anywhere else.
I really like your background story of how you got your character and what it means to you, and the singing and everything. It just kind of fits in well together, and your ocean theme is just so beautiful. So I'm really glad I got to learn about your story and how you
I'm
make oh, I'm really happy we had the opportunity to chat together.
Yeah, me too. I stalked almost all of your cosplay pictures because when I remember like in high school, I always wanted to be a cosplayer. I was like, oh my god, look at all these cute girls doing cute things. I want to be a cute girl doing cute things. And like I remember I still have pictures of like my old cosplays. I cosplayed what's her name? Hiyori from Noragami. Oh my god, I looked a hot mess. I did not know how to put on false lashes. So like anyone who can like just like emulate an anime character super well, I don't know how you do it. It's magic. It's like magic to me. I love your cosplays.
But you are a cute anime character now too.
I know. It
Cute
worked
anime
out
character.
somehow.
Yeah.
Cosplaying for sure is like a million times harder. I like very, 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 very obviously much harder.
Some days I'm just like, that's one of the reasons why I don't like live streaming, because I have to put my face on everything. Today I didn't put my makeup on. I'm like, whatever, I just don't want to deal with it because I'm tired. Just woke up. Let's just go stream. It's fine. But because it takes a long time to kind of get that anime eye look and everything for me to put eyelashes on and makeup and everything.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, no,
and
I'm
then
just gonna
like
deal
you're
with it.
playing a video game and you're staring at a screen and you have like these contacts on and your makeup's heavy and you're like, my eyes.
Yeah, well, when I stream, I don't like gaming because I'm a very bad gamer. So I prefer chatting with people because I like conversation and making new friends and stuff like that. So I think just chatting category fits with me a lot better than gaming.
I see.
It's too stressful to kind of do entertaining and trying to play at or do something you suck at already.
that is true.
Yeah.
I guess like for me, I'm not particularly good at video games either. Like I come from like I grew up playing Pokemon. I grew up playing Animal Crossing. Like just like fun, comfy games that you kind of just like mindlessly do, right? So on Twitch though, like there's a really big audience for like sweaty games, I like to call them, which is like Resident Evil, all the like the spooky horror thriller games,
and the first
Apex
person
Legends because
shooters
it moves so quickly, like FPS. I know Genshin is kind of like a comfy game that is sort of popular now, but for the most part, if you just want to be a comfy streamer, there's definitely an audience for that now. Like I never saw it when I first started streaming, but now it's so much more apparent. There's a really big demand for comfy streamers that just like talk and chill and banter. So I would just don't feel bad you can't game because I can't game either.
I'd rather just chat because I don't know. Gaming was just like no. I know.
Don't look. I can't top frag. I'm not a gamer.
I remember when I used to play games like the first person shooter games with my sister, like we would do team plays with like Left 4 Dead and stuff like that. I would always end up trying, like you're supposed to, like when your teammate dies, you're supposed to like pick them up, right? To help rescue them. I would just like end up killing them because I don't know the buttons, and instead of tapping like assist, I would tap like my gun. I'm like, oh
no. Oh my gosh, they're like, finally someone here to save me. Boom.
Boom. I know, and I just have a way to just lose. So it's just stressful. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, this year, we're like halfway through the year now, do you have any goals that you want to reach by the end of 2021?
Let's see. So I kind of like went through this. I kind of am going through like this music block. I haven't been able to record much. I've just been really focusing on building my Twitch audience and streaming. And so like to fit in recording on top of that has been really hard for me. And usually by the end of stream, my voice is just too tired to record anything. So it's hard to fit music in. I'm trying to refit music back into my life. So hopefully by the end of this year, I'll release like a handful of covers, hopefully, and an original song.
So during your prime, did you release like once a month, or how did that work with your songs?
So before I debuted, I uploaded all the videos, all the covers that I put out that had my old OC, my old art. Like I used to just be like an anime girl, but now I'm an anime whale. So anything that had to do with my old character design, I pushed out. And then for the songs that I hadn't touched yet that could be used, like I could commission someone to make it into a BAO song, I just held on to those and just did all of them in the background and waited until I debuted. And then I just released them week after week.
Oh, wow.
So I had like, I would say in my prime, like my average for releasing songs would be like 1 to every 2 weeks. But now I'm tired and dead and
burnt out.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah, it's a lot of
I'm
effort.
so tired. At least my number one source of revenue right now is Twitch. So obviously it would make sense to just like prioritize streaming. So I'm
Yeah.
still vibing.
Yeah. Sorry, let me correct that. When I said prime is before she got tired and taking a break. That was one of the comments in chat. That's what I meant. But if you were to get back into doing more music focused, how long does it take for you to produce one song?
So because I'm friends with so many people in the music community, I could get them done pretty fast.
Oh, wow.
Because I just know exactly who to reach out to, and I know exactly like how busy they are. So most of the time I can reach someone at a pretty good time where they're free and they don't really have too many commissions on their plate. So I would say like it would take upwards of maybe like 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow.
If I really wanted to push something out. And then during that time too, like as soon as I finish recording, I should just immediately start recording for something else. So then I can just
send them
have
out.
a completely different team work on it at the same time as the other team. So then I could have like back-to-back uploads.
How long does it take for you to record a song?
I am kind of a perfectionist. So I think my longest recording session ever on record was like 16 hours.
Oh,
I just
wow.
refused to stop until I finished recording.
Don't you get like your voice gets like all cracked up?
Yeah. At some point I had to take a break, so that's why it took so long. But then like later in the night I just came back to it. The thing is like when I record main vocals, which is like the thing that you hear the most of in like a cover or a song, I'm very, very perfectionist on it. Like down to if I took a breath on time, if I did vocal fry at the right time, at the right volume, if I
Enunciation?
pronounce like a syllable correctly or incorrectly, I'll redo it. And sometimes like as you're recording, your tone kind of changes the more warms up your voice gets.
Right.
So then I'll like listen to one part of the song and then I'll go back to another part of the song and I sound completely different and I'm like, oh, damn, I need to re-record these parts because I got too warmed up and now my voice here sounds like duller than the other parts of the song. It's not as bright. So then I'll re-record that. So it takes like, I would say like 5, 6 hours, 7 hours. Yeah, it's like a whole day commitment.
Right. Yeah, I dabble into a little bit of like music production too. And I thought I was crazy for doing that because I built a homemade studio in my closet. So I like lined all the walls with like blankets and everything. I just shut my door and just go and sit in the closet to record. But I feel like I have to record them in small chunks. Like I would sing a specific line over and over again, like 5 times. And then I would pick the one I like the most and I chunk it in. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I just decided that was...
No, that's completely correct.
Oh, really?
A lot of... Yeah, in most... like, let's see. So most popular artists like Justin Bieber, Katy Perry, Taylor, all of them, like what they do is they just like record a bunch of takes of like a line.
Okay.
Or like they'll just go through the entire song and then the mixer will go in and then just take out all the parts that sound the best and they Frankenstein them together. So that you have all the best parts and they flow really nicely. Doing that technique is good for some songs, and then doing like singing an entire line from start to finish without stopping would be good for like, I guess, more emotional songs or ballads, depending on like kind of like the style you want to go for. But if you're just kind of like a newer vocalist that has never like done that before, Frankensteining is definitely a good way to go just to like get started and get used to singing and finding your voice. Plus, it's probably good for mixers too, because if you have like
a mispronunciation, they can grab another piece or something, right?
Yeah, they can just grab like whatever pieces you have, and then sometimes like if you are off time for just like one part of the line and then the rest of the line is probably going to be off key too, it probably saves a lot of time.
Do you usually for yourself, when you send your your vocals to your mixer, do you send them all the takes, or do you piece everything you need together and just send them one track?
I so my takes are going to be separated on like a bunch of different tracks. Like all of my vocals will be on time with the instrumental, but then I will just have it on different tracks so that they're not like clipping into each other, like they're not squished together.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, it's a lot harder for them to time and tune your vocals if like there's anything overlapping.
Right.
So then I will render a track separate individually, and then if there is anything overlapping, I create a new track and put that overlaying a vocal there, and then render that.
Interesting. Wow, you have so much like skill set. Like you've spent so many years developing your craft. That's really cool. What's a good piece of advice you want to give someone who wants to get into your field, whether it's VTubing or the VTubing music industry or just making music in general?
So I kind of fell into the same kind of like depression hole that most content creators fall into, which is just getting too caught up in the number game. I mean, it's such like a obvious kind of normal thing to go through when you are trying to grow yourself. Like you start comparing yourself to everyone. You start wondering like, is this good enough? Am I good enough? Is anything I'm doing like worth it? I think that if you're just starting out, the number one thing you can do for yourself that will benefit you in the long run is to be consistent. If you just like stream once a week, you're probably not going to grow. And if you only like have like one or two pieces of social media, you're going to be stunting yourself. Try to multitask and try to be consistent with what you're doing. Otherwise, like people it's kind of like people are constantly window shopping. If you think about it, they'll look at, the display and then they're like, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. And then when they're doing that, it's your job to give them a reason to make them stay. So when you're starting off from scratch, from nothing, and people are window shopping, if you can get those people to stay, you should treasure those people, because those are the people that are going to be the base of they're going to be the foundation of your community. So when you're first starting and you're starting to notice that people are returning back, those are the people that you cater towards and you give them more reasons to stay. So don't worry about, how many viewers you have. Worry about whether or not people are coming back. And from there, like, have fun. Try to be, because you're making friends, basically. You're just getting like close to your chat. You're getting to know each other. It's kind of like that dating phase, right? You're still like going on dates and getting to know each other. Just focus on that. And from there, then you can like start to, spread your wings, try other platforms, do other things. But for the most part, like, don't look at the numbers yet. Don't look at the numbers just yet, because they don't mean anything. On Twitch, you can be a successful streamer with just like 200 people that come. Because if you think about it, if those 200 people that come, each of them donate one sub, that's a lot of money. What's $4.99 times 200, right? So
800? 800?
See,
No, wait.
see, that's why I didn't answer, because I don't know how to do math.
I think it's 1,000. $5 times 200. Yeah, 1,000. But you get half of that, right? So
yeah, you get half of that. But I mean, it's still like
it's
a
still
big chunk of money,
yeah,
right? And you don't even have to necessarily have like 50,000 people watching you. You can still be successful with even the smaller numbers. So it really, really depends. Don't get caught up in the number games, because they kind of they're not factual. Like people like me, I had one TikTok blow up on that just blew up overnight. It has like 600K views on it right now. It translated to literally nothing. Like I don't get any like people coming from TikTok onto my streams or like my YouTube channel. Like people that like watch me on TikTok only watch me on TikTok, and that platform is kind of just not like I don't really get anything from
It's
TikTok.
hard to build community on TikTok for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But here, you know, you're interacting with your chat one-on-one. It's a lot different. So.
Oh, thank you so much for your advice. I had so much fun chatting with you and listening to your story.
Thank you. I hope I didn't ramble too much.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got lots of fun and got lots of good questions and information from you. So I'm really happy we got to chat. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.